Welcome to the Profitpreneur Power Play Podcast, your daily dose of strategies, insights, and action steps to grow your business and build your freedom. It's time to stop playing small and start making power plays.
All righty. Hello, and good morning. Welcome to the Profitpreneur Power Play Podcast. So let's start it off with this. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but somehow it still feels like you're going in circles? Chill, this is for you. Hi, I'm Valerie Walton, and I'm co-founder of The Profitpreneur, multiple six-figure business owner and former top network marketing leader turned online entrepreneur and coach and mentor. And I am someone who has definitely questioned the process more than once. Yeah. See, your journey to success is not linear. It's more like a spiral staircase, okay, a winding staircase. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that because I want this episode to be your reminder that even when your progress feels a little slow or sideways or even backwards, it's still progress. Okay. So I guess one of the first things I should probably ask is, have you ever actually been on a winding staircase? Have you actually climbed a spiral staircase? Because it's a weird experience, because you're moving, but you can't see what's ahead, right? It's not straight ahead of you. So sometimes you're facing a wall. Sometimes you're circling back where you started from. And sometimes it feels like you're going sideways. But here's the secret. Even though you feel like you're not going straight up, you are still rising. And that's how life works. That's how faith works. And that's how success works. Okay. It's not a straight shot. It's a winding staircase. Now let's go a little deeper into this because I want you to see this vision that I see. All right. And picture your life like that winding staircase. Picture your business like that winding staircase. Picture your faith, your trust in your higher power, whoever that may be for you, as a winding staircase, that relationship. Okay. So I actually had once, a few times heard a teaching called the secret to the winding stairs. And it really changed the way that I see my entire journey. Okay. It's funny because I used to ask God, why can't my life just be straightforward? Why do I have to take all these detours and twists? So what I learned was this. Winding stairs are actually designed to get you to the highest level in the shortest amount of space and time. Come on, somebody. Hello. Is this thing on? Hello. So listen, what that means is what looks like delay is actually divine efficiency. Y'all ain't hear what I just said. Okay. So God's design is not random. He is saving you energy and he's maximizing your ability to ascend, your rise. And here's the best part. On a winding staircase, you can't see the end. You can only see a couple steps ahead. But the builder, the one who designed it, already knows where those steps lead. So your job isn't to just, see the whole destination and the whole path. It's to trust the direction, one faithful step at a time. See, most of us expect progress to look like a straight line. I mean, Chad, look, even the yellow brick road wasn't a straight line. It started off in a spiral. Y'all saw that? So for us to expect that, it's quite peculiar. We're looking for step one and then step two and then step three and then boom, success. But in reality, it's not really like that. In reality, and take it from somebody who's been successful at a lot of different things. In reality, it's step over here, step to the side, step back, loop around, feel a little lost for a second, feel a little dizzy for a second, But then one day you look up and you realize that you're standing higher than you've ever been. And that's the thing though, because I think this is why people quit too soon. They mistake the turn for a dead end. And they don't realize that the turn is a part of the rise. So I'm gonna share a quick story with you guys. This is my own little personal business sideways step. Okay. When I first started online, I thought my very first business was going to be the one, child. It was going to be boom, bam. Everything, the best thing since sliced bread, because I had already been an entrepreneur for such a long time. I started my very first business at 12 years old. 12. And it was inspired by all these, some books that I was reading. It was a book series. Maybe some of y'all know it if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, called The Babysitter's Club. And I love that book so much. And I can see myself in various characters in there so much. I say, I'm about to be Christy, child. I'm about to start my own business. That sounds good. I can have a little extra money. I can buy me some candy and snacks. That was my motivation then, at least to start. And then as I started to develop how I was going to structure that business, I realized that these parents would be trusting me with a human life. And I realized that as a 12-year-old, now granted, probably in today's time, ain't no 12-year-olds babysitting child, but back then that wasn't unheard of in the 80s, right? So, well, I was 12 in 92. So, as I thought about that, I said, well, if it's going to be me and a few other babysitters where we have this agency, I need to make sure that we are prepared. So I developed certain quizzes. I made sure that we all knew CPR and the Heimlich and all these different, ways to respond to crises. And I trained and prepped my fellow babysitters to be ready for that. So I took that very seriously. But it was a lot of twists and turns even back then. And I don't know. I was so excited to do something I thought was cool. I didn't really notice back then, I guess. But yeah, when I started the online business, I thought, listen, I've been doing this since been doing this. I had a successful, profitable business back then. I had a successful, profitable business offline as a hairstylist from the age of 19. Child, I knew what to do, when to do it, how to do it. But spoiler alert. That wasn't the case. Okay. And I have had the experience of building all kinds of income streams online in these past 10 years. I've done network marketing, affiliate marketing, courses, coaching, and even memberships. And sometimes it looked like and felt like I was going in circles. But every single turn taught me something new. Every loop built a new skill, a new connection, a new level of grace. And now I can see it. The winding staircase was lifting me up, elevating me the entire time. So it's okay for you to feel sometimes like, what the hell going on? I don't know what I'm doing. It is okay. You're not alone. You're not weird, and you're not a failure who is being an imposter and needing to feel all of this guilt just because you feel a little level of uncertainty. Sometimes you feel a little discombobulated when you're on that winding staircase. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about it today. I want you to be able to feel like you can really do this, even though everything doesn't look perfect all the time. And every step you take doesn't always feel amazing. And you don't always feel motivated and all that crap people be talking about, jail. Hell no. They look, you can do this. Okay. So here's something else that really blew my mind as I started to study this and learn this. And this is going to be great for those of you who are fellow Christians who study the word. We're going to go into this. If you are not a Christian, I have nothing against you. You can skip this part. All right. But I want to talk about Solomon's temple. right? The one built for the Lord, right? In 1 Kings 6:8, that there was a winding staircase inside that was leading from one level to the next. And when you look at the measurements, they're not random. Child, think about it. The first level of the winding staircase was 5 cubits wide. And if you know anything about biblical numbers, you know 5 is very significant. 5 represents grace. The name of Noah means grace. The 5th time his name is mentioned in the Bible, it says Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So anyway, back to this. That's where all of this began. That first level, 5, grace. So when we first start walking with God or building our purpose, grace carries us. Let's not get so self-righteous and so puffed up by our own knowledge or skills. All those skills are very important, don't get me wrong. But let's not put all of our trust into what our efforts are as limited human beings, because that's not being humble, right? The trust has to be in that grace of God himself. And the thing about it is, when we first start, we don't really know what we're doing yet. I mean, let's be real. Most of us have no idea, but his hand is steadying us with every step. The second level, okay? The second level is 6 cubits wide. And again, if you understand biblical numbers and what every number symbolizes, you'll know that 6 represents man. And that's the season where God starts partnering with your effort. It's where you are learning through the Spirit, you're learning discipline, obedience, and consistency. You've still got grace, right? But now he's growing your strength too. He is building you up. He is edifying you. And then, look, then the top level is 7 cubits wide. And 7 is the number of perfection and completion. And see, that's where you start to move differently. You have matured. Your vision is sharper. Your peace is stronger. And your wisdom's deeper. And what's so powerful is also that each level gets wider, meaning as you rise, your capacity expands. You can handle more. You can hold more. You can receive more. So if you're wondering why your life is feeling a little stretched right now, that's what happens when you're being elevated. You're not breaking down. You are being built up. And let me tell you, I have been feeling stretched out in so many different instances in my life and my business progress. Okay. The journey has felt like that. And I'm telling you right now, the times where I felt the biggest stretch has been the times where it's been the biggest breakthroughs that were just around the corner. The times also, conversely, the times where I felt squeezed in were the times I wasn't being squeezed in. That's how I was feeling. But when I thought about it, the walls didn't move. I wasn't being squeezed in. I was expanding, and I was getting too big for the space. I was too big, too powerful for the space that I was in. Because I was growing and I was getting better. And maybe, just maybe, that's why you're feeling the way that you do. Because that's what's happening to you too right now. I've also seen, just a little side note, I've also seen that when you are growing, when you are expanding, when you are starting to have influence, that you will have folks that will want to criticize and nitpick and want to pull you down and hate on what you're doing. They're not God, so who cares? You better stay focused, child, because Your mission, your purpose in life is so much bigger than anything that anybody has to say to criticize it. In addition to that, this is a supernatural assignment, a supernatural purpose. You have a supernatural life and a supernatural business. And when people are in the natural, they don't see that, they don't understand that, and they stay stuck in their blindness and their ignorance. Let them stay there. All right. I'm not saying let people walk all over you, because y'all already know I don't be doing that. You about to get a whole mouthful from me today, but don't let that start changing your mind away from what God has already divinely assigned for you. Y'all with me on that? Okay. So I'm gonna share another story. To really make sure we drive this home. When Sunny and I had set the goal to move my mom into her own luxury apartment, Cheryl, look, we had no idea how we were gonna, pay down debt and how we were gonna make all this happen. So yeah, like I said, some months we were paying off or paying down debt. There were other months where, business was a little slower than we would have liked. But you know what? We kept taking a step, 1 month at a time, 1 day at a time, one strategy at a time. And in 13 months, boom, she was moving in. So what's really cool about this is that looking back, those moments that felt sideways, they were actually divine design. The staircase was winding, but it was lifting us up. What else is also cool about that is it lifted us up and saved us energy and time. It saved, especially with time, because our goal was to do it in 24 months. But did you hear what I said? I said we did it in 13 months. So, sorry. So, when you look at that, right? That's part of the reason why, if you look in some structures, you look in some homes or whatever, that they even have a winding staircase in the first place. It is designed to take up the least amount of space, save you some energy, and get you up faster. Get you up higher, faster. I love that. So the next time for you, I want you to think about this. The next time life feels confusing or unpredictable, remind yourself that you are not lost. You're just on a winding staircase. That's life, child. Y'all talk about life be lifing. Okay, well, incorporate this too. Because see, on a winding staircase, you may not see what's ahead. In life, you may not see what's ahead, but the Lord does. He has designed your path to get you to the next level with less stress, less wasted motion, and more grace. You just have to focus on the next few steps, because if you saw the entire climb, you might even get discouraged before you even start. That's why God is like, no. I got this. You just take the next step, child. I got you. God don't talk like that to you? Oh, my bad. I'm just kidding. So think about that, right? Some people will look at a huge grand staircase and be like, damn, I can't get up there. That's a whole lot of steps. That's steep. That's, all them steps. How many is them? That look like 10,000. I can't do, see, that's why God got you. And that's why it's a winding staircase. We don't need to see it all the time, right? The Lord will light up your path, right? He will light up those footsteps. That's all you need. You just need to see the next step in front of you. Okay. So I want you to remember this promise, because God's promises do not fail. His word will not return void. The Lord of time and space, right? Because he's not confounded by that. So if he's the name above every name, he's the name above time, above space, above circumstances, above your worry, above your fears, above your failed times that you tried in the past, above all of it. and he's taking you higher than you have ever been. You're going higher in your understanding. You're going higher in your relationships. You're going higher in your peace. You're going higher in your finances. You're going higher in your faith. And what's wild is that you won't even realize how high you've climbed until one day you look around and think, wait a minute, how did I get up here? Because that's what grace does. It will elevate you quickly and quietly. Quietly. This is not, oh, look at me, look at everything I'm doing. This is not about your behavior. This is about the fact that what is in your heart is for you to trust this process and trust that God is orchestrating things for your good, for a good outcome, for good success. So I'm going to give you some quick actionable steps and we're going to wrap it up. To stay encouraged on your winding staircase, I'm going to give you 3 R's. Are y'all ready for this? The 3 R's? Aura. Okay. I want you to, number 1, recognize. That's the first R. I want you to notice where you are without judgment. Cancel out other people's judgment and also cancel out that judgment that you might be hearing in your own head. Okay? Because even the turns count. So recognize that. The second R, reframe. So instead of saying, I'm stuck, I want you to say, I'm just rounding the corner. Okay? And the third R is rise. Keep on stepping. Child, keep going. Because even small steps will still ascend. You don't have to sprint. Okay? The design in and of itself is doing the lifting. You're just taking the steps. So if it feels like life's got you spinning, don't panic. You're just on the winding staircase. And you may not see the next level, but every step of obedience, every act of faith, every moment that you choose grace over fear, it is carrying you higher. The turn isn't a punishment. It's preparation. So keep climbing. Because the one who designed your staircase, your life, your business, your experiences knows exactly where and how it ends. And is higher than anything you've ever imagined because he does exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you could ever ask or think. So you don't need to see the top to trust the climb because the rise is already built into the design. All right. So with that being said, your journey might be a twist. It might curve. It might not look like anybody else's, but every step, every lesson, every detour is part of your climb and you will make it. You are not off track. You're just on the winding staircase. So what's great is inside of our Profitpreneur community, in this membership, we will help you keep climbing. We will equip you with the right mindset, the right strategy, the right knowledge, the right skills, and the right systems to keep you moving forward and keep you moving upward, more importantly, right? Even when the path isn't straight. So go ahead, start your 14-day free trial today. The link is in the description box because listen, no matter how winding it feels right now, you are still going up and we're here to help. Thanks so much, you guys, for tuning in. Can't wait to see you back here again. Same time, same channel. Take care.